Okay, girls, in this video we're going to cover chapter 10.3, the sample space. So what is the sample space? The sample space is a list of all the possible outcomes of an experiment. Here, what is very important for you to know and highlight is that we're talking about all possible outcomes of the experiment that we're doing. So let's do some examples. So for example, if I talk about tossing a coin, what type of results can I get? So we know that I can either have a heads or a tail. So heads or tails. Perfect. So if we want to write our sample space, then we will do the following. We will say our sample space, and we write this as a set. We say our sample space is, and now you don't have to write the whole word. You can say, okay, heads, I'm going to write it as an H, and tails, I'm going to write it as a T. Perfect. So my sample space is composed of H and T. Perfect. But sometimes I don't want to know all the outcomes. I just want to know the size of the sample space. So the number of elements, how many elements do I have here? When I want to do that, you use this symbol. You say the number of elements in S, and you write S in brackets. Oh, this looks terrible. Sorry, girls. Let me write it again. So the number in S is equal to 2. Perfect? Okay, now let's look at another example. So if we talk about rolling a dice, and I always get confused. In English, dice is in the plural. I look in the dictionary and it says that in modern English you can use dice for the singular or the plural, so I'll use it like that. But when I learned English a long time ago, I remember that they said that the singular was die, but it sounds weird. If I say rolling a die, it sounds weird. So rolling a dice, but I'm talking about only one, okay? One dice. So what options do I have? What are the possible solutions here? If I do that, I can get a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5 and or a 6. Beautiful. I know how to count up to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. If I want to state all this as my sample space, how do we do it? We say S equals, and we open our brackets and we list all our possible outcomes. 5 and 6. Beautiful. And if they ask us what is the size of our sample space, so we write it like this, is equal to 6. Why 6? Because I have 6 elements in my sample space. Okay, beautiful. That's all for chapter 10.3. So go to Jacaranda, do your exercises, and if you have any questions, please let me know.